Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Okay, so now that we have done a bunch of videos with Trello, what we have been doing so far was just basically setting the new vision where we want to be, what goals we want to have, and so on and so forth. So we showed a variety of features in Trello. Now this video that I'm recording has been done after a lot of experimentation, a lot of different clients implementing it in their lives, and everybody would come up with their own models, but what I'll be showing you today is a very essentially very effective way of execution on what to focus, planning, reviews, check-ins, and things like that. So I'm going to do a quick review as well. So basically what I've typically suggested, and if you have been following through, you have created a copy of a board using the template that I provide. And that is for people who are actually engaging in coaching. You can obviously use it as a self-help tool as well and just do it yourself. So typically when you would do that, I request that you make me an admin, and then I can change, and I can put it all in one folder, so it makes it easier for me. So we started with defining the big pictures, right? So the first list was identify the different areas of your life that you want to improve. And then we discussed that, and you put a label on that, like these colors are labels, right? You can see that. Okay, in each category, if you click on the card, I recommended that you use, basically I have a template there, you copy that, and then you can actually define why is that important for you, like for you, right? Not something that sounds great, but exactly why does that matter? Why is it important for you to improve and excel in this specific category? And you would like to do that for every category. If you're curious about how I got all this font and formatting, so if you just click on that quickly, so you can see that if you put one hash sign, it makes it a heading number 1. If you use double asterisk, it makes it bold. Single asterisk makes it italics. Just using this hyphen makes it bullet points. So if you save it, you'll see that. Right? So this is your heading, bold, italics, and bullet points, okay? So hopefully you have done that. And then at the end, we have this thing, weekly reviews. So you should be doing your weekly reviews. Weekly reviews is you're going in, you're taking a look at, hey, you want to go in all your active projects and then see how you made progress. Are you happy with the progress that you made? What needs to change? If you have any penalties for any missed deadlines, and you pay your coach or your accountability partner, and so on and so forth. So what you would do in your weekly review, you would come here and you would write down your observations, right? So you'd write down your observations, or just a simple thing, done my weekly review, and then you can do your weekly review under each specific card. So let's say if we take this position, right? So done, weekly review, and whatever scoring system you're using, whatever deadlines you may have, and if you missed it, then you may have to put in some sort of a short-term penalty, and you say, okay, I owe $50 to my coach or accountability partner, right? So depending on if you had any penalty and if you missed it or not, and then you can save it, and then you would have an historical record of that. So remember, all comments can then also be edited. So if you made any mistake, you can click edit and you can edit that. So that is for weekly reviews. Okay, now it's important to review your accomplishment as well. So what I recommend is, as something happens, right, you hit a milestone, you finish a juz, or full khatam, or you complete a book or complete a course, always put in some. So this is, let's say, for specific year of 2017, 2018, right? But you want to probably put it, okay, so in my July, let's say you can say book name, right? So whatever that weekly accomplishment, yearly accomplishment is, as soon as they happen, you definitely want to take a note of that, right? And this is very important, because sometimes we do a lot of things and we just have a lot of self-doubt. Oh, I haven't done anything. So going through this actually lets you see your wins. It gives you momentum. It gives you encouragement that you are able to do and you're able to achieve. Okay, then from that you had active projects, right? What are you doing actually to improve in those areas? So when you're doing your weekly reviews, you'll go in here and you would put in your weekly reviews, right? You'll do your weekly reviews, and you would say that, hey, I completed juice 2. So next week, if you're targeting do 1 juice a week, then next week it should be juice 3, and so on and so forth, right? So that's something to do basically for each of your projects, right? So here you want to come and say, oh yeah, like, applied to 4 jobs. So why was it 4? Then you're going to probably say, okay, I got lazy one day, or I didn't plan, or I have whatever it is, right? So you want to note down. So the idea of weekly review is to see that, hey, is progress happening or not? And if it's not happening, why not? So go deep into it. Why is it not happening? Am I not allocating or dedicating a specific time to do something? Am I afraid? Am I doubting myself? Whatever it is, just think hard. And if you have a coach or someone, then hopefully that person will also challenge you to think hard. But this is something to do a proper review. You want to go in and see what happened with your goal, and if it did not happen, why not, right? Dig deeper why it did not happen. So it will give you a lot of insight. Maybe you didn't want to do it, maybe you're being distracted, and so on and so forth. Okay. Likewise, any other active project. Okay. So this is your future ideas, that you can, bring to active projects whenever you're ready. Now we'll be moving into day-to-day execution. This is something that we haven't talked about before. So before we do that, what typically happens is as the day goes by, different ideas pop up, right? Somebody may say, hey, can you call and book an appointment for car tune-up, right? Somebody would say, can you email, whatever, different things come up, right? So as things come up, you don't want to respond to WhatsApp messages, right? Different things pop up in your head. You don't have to start doing it right away, because what you're doing right now may be much more important than the idea that popped up in your head. So any procrastination idea or any request that comes in that you want to do, you can just document it here. Now, you don't necessarily have to use Trello for that. You can use a separate board for it. Some people use emails for that. Some people use, other tools that I personally use, for example, Wunderlist, right? So you can use whatever works for you, whatever existing to-do system that you have, and so that you're not being distracted, and that you don't have to carry it in your mind, because there's a place for you now to do specific things. So that's that. If you want to use Trello, you can do that. If you have some other system, that's great. Okay, now in here, oh, by the way, so if you're copying this board, you can then basically just bring the mouse here, and then you can click on C, and it will go in archive. Sorry. So bringing the mouse here, clicking C, archives, right? So this is how you can clean up the board if you have copied my board and then you want to make it your own personalized board. Okay, now this is very important. So you want to move on to this thing, right? So make each day count, right? So here what would happen is, depending on your specific situation. So one is daily plan. I think everybody should have it. And then you have a bunch of different cards based on your own situation. So if somebody is not very positive in life, right? They have a lot of, negative feelings, negative thoughts. So I would definitely have them do this, for example. It's a good thing for everyone to do it, but it should be a priority for people who definitely need it. So you have this card, right? So I would expect you, or I would recommend you, that you do this every day. You go in their card, and under the comment, you would add, what was I happy for? Like, what was your, the main highlight of your day? Like, was there something that you're happy for, something that you truly were happy for, and my computer is not behaving properly? Yeah, so you will put in a comment, right? Recorded, met my friend Khalid after a long time, right? So whatever that is, you can add that in there, right? Something that, and sometimes we were happy and then we forgot, right? So just think about it, right? It could be something you really, really appreciate. You saw someone, one of my clients saw a child that was blind, and she was thinking about how the life of that child would be, right? And she noted that. And, it just helps you appreciate what we have got, right? So do pay attention to that, whatever those things are for you. For some people, it would be, so especially if it's a relationship issue with parents, children, or spouse, right? So you want to document those things. What did they do that I really appreciated today? What did I do that I served? How did I serve them? What effort did I make today? Right? So on and so forth. Right? If there's an issue with courage, someone is too afraid to apply for jobs or go to school or meet people, then we would be talking about, like, in the description section of a card. If I click on here, in description, you'll be taking notes of your mindset. So you'll be saying, look, I have to make effort, right? It's always a lesson, not a failure, right? I trust in Allah. So whatever those things are, your mindset follows. And this will come based on your discussion with the coach, your own studies, the books that you write, your own things that you want to remind yourself daily. And then you're taking note of that. Hey, yeah, was I bold, courageous? Did I do anything? You're going to take notes of that, put a comment of it every day, right? So that you're focusing on things. If someone has a problem with anger management, right? So, in that case, you would write down that I'm not God. I don't control everything, right? I can only focus on my actions and doing my best, not necessarily the results. So whatever those things are that help you cope with your anger issues, whatever makes you angry. So those are deeper issues, but the point is that you can write down things that you need to review daily, and then you'll be taking notes of how you did today, right? How did you do today? Like, was there any specific situation where you messed up, or were you able to control and hold your calm, and so on and so forth. So that will be different for each person, but daily plan is what I'm really encouraging you guys to do. So I've made a template here, right? So if you click on it, you can edit your template. So your template would be something that you can edit, and then you will copy paste it, and it will become a comment every day. So every day you're going to make a comment, right? At the start of the day, or probably the night before, you will make a comment, and then you'll edit it as the day goes by. So for example, what you have is, in that template, you have observations, right? So any observation that you had for that day, you would probably have some rituals. So if you take a look at these things, right, backticks, so this is what makes it like that. So this is the format I like to use, but you can use whatever works for you. So anyways, if I click on it here, I can now edit it. So I'm also using some sort of a scoring mechanism, because I personally use a scoring mechanism with my coach. And if I have a threshold that if my score goes below that, then I have penalties to pay. So anyways, so you can have that. So your Quran, so I'm not doing definition here, you can define it. What does that mean? So your Quran ritual could be reading a page, or listening for 5 minutes, or listening for 10 minutes, or memorizing half a page, whatever that is, right? Your workout or walk routine, right? Going into nature, working out, running, exercising, going for some sort of a class for workout, whatever that is, you can describe that, but you're also attaching some sort of a score. Focusing on your prayers, your meetings with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So I have 25 points, 5 for each prayer. And you can have different things, praying on time, praying in masjid, being focused, praying sunnah before or after, making dua, whatever that is. What is a 5 for you, right? Just an understanding of it, just being focused on that. Sleep routine, sleeping on time, in time, doing the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before going to bed, so on and so forth. And then reviewing your day, right? So at the end of the day, making sure that you've actually reviewed it and you've completed your scoring and what have you, and you've created your plan for tomorrow. That's 3 points, right? Now, what are your main targets for tomorrow? So you will be probably putting it in like, write a blog, read 1 chapter, assignment, apply for research, whatever. These things can also come in from, remember we were talking about the to-do list, the inbox. So it can also come from there, that whatever you need to do, right? Or it can come from your calendar. So your calendar you may have noted on your calendar that I need to do this and that tomorrow, this and that on Thursday, this and that on Monday, write a blog, do a podcast, whatever those things are, okay? So what will happen is you will copy that. So today is Sunday, I'm recording it. So I'm going to do it for Monday, right? So I'll copy it. Then I will go in my comment and I will paste it, right? I don't need the template here. Yeah. This is probably going to be empty. And this is what I will be filling in at the end of the day, right? So far I'm going to keep it empty. So maybe my template could be, yes, I'll just keep it like that for now, okay? And then I'm going to save it. So this is, let's say, Sunday night. I've saved it like that. Then as Monday progresses, right? So this is my comment. And you can keep adding a comment every day, okay? So as Monday progresses, I will take a note of that. It's things that were right or wrong. Slept late and woke up late. Right? So why did that happen? You can probably observe that, right? I mean, and another thing could be took a long lunch, right? So that may have messed up some things, right? And then you'll probably go in and update your scores as the day is happening. Maybe you're going to give yourself 3 on Quran. You didn't walk up. It's a 0 here. Let's say you did 20 here. Sleep, as you said, I already said, you're late, it's a 0. Reviewed day. Yeah, I'm reviewing my day. And this is what I'm doing Monday night now, right? So you'll start on Sunday night, you'll create it, and then as the day progresses, you will update it. Or you might do it at half of the day or end of the day, right? Okay, now I'm going to think about Tuesday. So if I've thought about my Tuesday plan, I'm going to give myself 3, right? Oh, these things all can be scored too. So depending on whatever importance you want to put to reading a chapter, you can put in different scores here, right? And then you would have your total score, and that's it. And that would be your comment. So this is something that you can review with your coach at the end of the week, and then hopefully every day you'd be you'd make each day count, and each day would be better than the other, and you make progress towards your goals. So straightforward things, basic things, but this will really help you understand a lot about yourself. So I'll just keep it like that. Hope that was beneficial, and would love to hear from you how it's working for you. If you found some additional tricks or that helped you, or any other observations, would love to hear from you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.